Welcome to the Good Place Marionville Podcast, dedicated to highlighting the good in Marionville, Missouri.
At the end of the show, we'll have a very special guest joining us, Nathan Gunn. So hang on till the very end. We want to give a huge congratulations to Kyle Smith for being accepted to attend Washington University and receive a full ride scholarship for his education. Kyle has huge ambitions and will go very far. We're very proud of you, Kyle. This is such great news to start the show with.
We got to spend some time with Kyle this week as Jim and I had the opportunity to join Barbara Neely and judge the public speaking entries for the Future Business Leaders of America districts that was held in Monette this week. It was really amazing to see the young adults putting their skills into practice in so many different areas. And I just want to give also a shout out to Crystal Stafford. She does such a great job with all the FBLA members.
The Daddy, Daughter, and Mother Sundance is this Saturday night, February the 8th, from 6 to 8 p.m. at the elementary. Details can be found on Facebook, and the link will be in the show notes.
And next week, I would love to hear some good news from those that attend the dance. So I can't wait to hear about that. On March 29th is the Running of the Squirrels 5K Donut Run.
Wait, listen to this.
Yes, it's a 5K donut run. So I know some of the details are there's contests for dressing up like a donut, eating donuts in the middle of the race, and a donut eating contest at the very end of the race. All of this to support the Comet Band. So registration links are going to be in the show notes. And I want to encourage you to start training and designing your costume.
I've been training for years, baby, eating donuts.
You should be really good at that. And prepare for the post-race donut eating challenge. I'll put all those links in the show notes.
And if you haven't heard the good news for little ones and their parents in Marionville, the school is so excited to be offering full-day preschool for 3- and 4-year-olds starting this fall 2025.
Yes.
There's such a need for this in this town, so make sure to schedule your child's screening for March 7th, 10th, and 11th by calling the school at 417-258-2550.
In city news, the monthly Alderman meeting is next Thursday, February 13th, and later in the month there is a public hearing scheduled, so be sure to check the City Hall calendar on their website.
Yeah, I know next Thursday's the 13th. So that means next Friday's Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Not too early to get your Valentine's cards and to get your reservations at Alice Irene's for their Valentine's buffet.
Awesome. Good point there, Jim. You're getting some brownie points.
Trying to get brownie points.
Alrighty, in business news, Lorraine Ghan reported that it's really good news that the real estate market is still going strong.
Not true in all parts of the country, but still true right here in Marionville, Missouri. Speaking of real estate, Todd Wright with Alpha Realty is knocking things out of the park with his business.
See our shirt.
Todd loves commercial, ag, and real estate, residential real estate, and can help find the perfect property for you. Just check him out online at alpharealtymo.com/Todd Wright. And on Facebook, you can find him under Built Right Homes, LLC. There's a lot happening at the Manor that's good news. They're having a gospel ministry team perform next week. Apparently one of their favorite activities at the Manor is a penny auction. I'd love to know more about what that's all about.
Well, we'll have to find out. And their Valentine events are going to include crowning a king and a queen. There's also a Manor choir that has recently been formed, and it's directed by Francis Nelson. Francis recently published a book that is available on Amazon, and it's titled As a Woman Thinks in Her Heart. And this book is written to inspire new love and devotion for God in the hearts of all who read it.
And in other good news at the Manor, the resident council's invited Martha and I to come speak at their meeting next week about their aspirations for our town of Marionville and how the contribution of residents' past work experiences, knowledge, personal skills, and interests could benefit our great city in many different ways. We're going to find out who's living there and what can they do to help our town be a more incredible place.
So we'll have to report the good news after that meeting.
We're so blessed to have the local community bank like Bank of Billings right here in Marionville.
If you've been hoping for a job locally, I know that they currently have a job opening that is posted. So Bank of Billings is a community banking at its very best. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
We're so grateful to the Bank of Billings for all of their community support and for sponsoring the Good Place Marionville podcast. 2, 1. Today, our special guest is Nathan Gunn. We met Nathan through his attendance at Marionville Business Connect, and we're glad to have you on the show today, Nathan, for a Marionville Get to Know You Better session. So, Nathan, you grew up here, right? How long have you been connected to Marionville?
Right. So I went to school, kindergarten through senior year of high school here at Marionville. Graduated in 2012. I was a big part of FFA. Was on the football team every year.
Did you grow up in town? Did you live in town or did you live outside of town?
No, I lived outside of town.
Do you still live outside of town?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. All right. So what's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby, it'd have to be bow hunting.
What does it say? Do you have time for a hobby?
At the moment, no.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
In a perfect world, if you had some free time, you would go bow hunting?
Oh, yeah.
What would you hunt?
Deer, turkey.
In season, of course,
oh, yeah,
right?
Obviously, yeah.
Okay. Very good. So tell us about your extended family. And are you still live in the same place you lived growing up?
No. Well, I actually bought my great-grandparents' place out just a mile south of Robbins RV over at Aurora. The house I grew up in burned down in 2018. So my parents now live over by me in a subdivision over there. And my sister got married, and her husband, and my nephew live over by where the house burned down. So
okay. So still family pretty close.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So people are going, Nathan Gunn, I recognize his face, but what's the deal? And why is he on the Good Place Marionville podcast? Well, Nathan, he's got a huge announcement this week from Marionville. So let's just talk about DMH. But before we do that, did you always know you wanted to be a mechanic, specifically a heavy duty, big machine mechanic working on big old diesel things and trailers?
So I've known I wanted to turn wrenches for quite a while. It was a passion of mine I had when I was young. I took a bunch of stuff apart, didn't necessarily get it put back together.
That's the learning part of it, right?
Right. And so I went to CVO and I got 2 degrees in animal science and agronomy. And
you went to College of the Ozarks.
Yep.
And got degrees in what?
Agronomy and animal science.
Agronomy and animal science. That's why you're fixing big machines.
There wasn't any jobs around here at the time, and I didn't want to move way up north, into crop country. And
okay, so tell us about that. So what opportunity came up that helped you get into this field of heavy-duty mechanical geniusness that you're in?
So I worked at the Chesapeake Fish Hatchery as the maintenance tech there, and that was building maintenance equipment, vehicles. I mean, it was everything. So with the state, you're on a salary. Being the maintenance tech, you're on call pretty much 24/7. And I liked the job. I liked the people I worked with, but it wasn't enough. So then I went to a diesel shop, and I was up front with them. I told them I had no experience on diesels, and it went pretty good for a while, and still wanted a little bit more. And then I met Chris, and so that's when I got looped in with DMH, and I've been managing it for a year and a half now.
Awesome. All right. So what is this big change that's on the
First of all, people want to know where DMH is. Out on the south side of town at Western and 60. DMH is right there. You see all the trailers right there. Across from the rental place.
Across the highway from Alpine.
Yep, that's right. Okay.
So that's where DMH is. We specialize in heavy duty and commercial and ag equipment and trucks and trailers. Right now we have as much equipment there as we have trucks. So
wow,
that's kind of breaking
everybody getting ready for springtime to meet
that. Not so much that, just as equipment goes down. Lead times on a lot of the bigger shops that people have been using is so far out that they're branching out, and we've got customers that have been saying some good things about us. So we
awesome.
Just try to keep those true.
So what's going on at DMH? I heard in the rumor mill.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you're the rumor mill.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on?
We're going to actually talk about it firsthand.
That's right.
Tell us, Nathan.
March 1st, I am taking over ownership at DMH, and I'll be changing the name to Nathan's Heavy Duty.
Awesome. That
just as simple as that.
Yep.
Congratulations.
That's right. Congratulations.
Nathan's Heavy Duty. He can be heavy duty anything.
That's right.
So
and another,
I like that. Leave
another Marionville born bred business right here.
Yep.
It's fantastic. Love it. All right. But you have, what are your hopes for the city of Marionville? What part is your company going to play in making Marionville a better place?
Just being able to get everything you need here in town. For us, most of the parts we have to go to Springfield. So instead of getting the trucks to Springfield and having them worked on in Springfield, we want to provide a service that's close to where these trucks are running and do it in a timely fashion. We're all the time having to go to Springfield. Peterbilt's 24 hours, Kenworth is 24 hours. So we're all the time going to get parts anywhere from 7 at night, midnight. I've been at Peterbilt at 11:30 to get a sensor. So
sounds like you need a parts run.
But you're making it convenient for the owners of the vehicles and the equipment, so they don't have to get those big equipment somewhere far away. They can keep it local. You can do the running. You can figure out the problems and take care of their issues so they can get back to work. Right.
I will say the only thing we don't do is tires. We don't do anything with tires, and we don't do any light duty anymore. Diesel pickups we still do, but gas cars and trucks, we've been sending all those to Stevens Service Station here in Marionville.
Okay, and I'm really glad you said that because I want to bring that up. One of the things that I've loved about Chris and I love about you, Nathan, is that you're very collaborative and you set a really high bar about working with other people in your industry. So talk about that. And with Jeremy Stevens, who is, for those who don't recognize that name yet, he is the person who bought Pendleton's. So everybody knows that name if you've been here, living here your whole life and listening to this podcast. And if you're new, Jeremy Stevens is the owner of Stevens,
Stevens Service Station.
Yep. And so he does a lot of tires, right?
So he does automotive tires, semi tires, trailer tires, oil changes, brakes, suspension. I mean, I don't know everything he does. I'm sure he does other stuff, but it'd just be something you want to call him.
But if you can't do it, you got other people you can send it to.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So we'll, I've got no issue putting a diagnostic computer on anything that I can plug it into. And if it's something that's in our wheelhouse, great. If it's not, we know where to get it.
Mm-hmm. And I love that about you guys because you're making the customer the primary focus and saying, I'm going to take care of your need. I'm going to make sure your vehicle gets taken care of, even if you can't do the work. And I just think you set such a great example. And even with your industry and across industries, it can be that way. So I just want to commend you on that and thank you for that and let people know, because a lot of times you take a vehicle or a piece of equipment, you're having troubles. You don't know what all the problem is.
Right.
And it could be that it needs a couple of different expertise to be involved in that. So that's wonderful. So thank you for doing that.
I know Trent that works alongside you is always seeing if he could be the dirtiest in your shop, crawling around underneath trailers. I mean, you guys are working on trailers, rewiring trailers. I know you're working on, fixing engines. And I mean, what are all the different things that you guys are into over there at very soon to be Nathan's Heavy Duty?
So we do engine repairs, landing gear on trailers, brakes, wiring. On the truck side, we do suspension services, DOT inspections, kingpins. A lot of people get scared when they hear kingpins. We invested in the press to do them, and it saved a lot of time.
So somebody's got something with queen pins in it. You guys won't do that? I have no idea what a kingpin is.
It sounds serious.
A kingpin is essentially, instead of having an upper and lower ball joint like on the front suspension of a car between your A-arms, the kingpin is a solid steel pin that goes through the steering knuckle. It holds the knuckle to the axle.
It sounds incredibly important, and we're grateful that you invested in the equipment to take care of that. So, everybody listening already that knows.
I hope you guys all laughed. I said the queen thing on purpose to be funny. Okay.
Yes.
All right. How do people get a hold of you?
So we do have a shop phone. It very rarely rings. Pretty much all the customers we have right now just call my cell phone.
Okay.
And the people that they tell about us obviously call my cell phone because that's the number they have to give them.
Right.
So
we'll put that number in the show notes. We'll put whatever number you want people to start calling in the show notes for everybody.
Have you had time to put a website together?
No.
For Nathan's Heavy Duty?
Nope. DMH does have a Facebook page that I try to keep up with. I haven't posted on there very much.
We'll post this show on there, of course, right?
Yeah. But with the switchover, all I'm going to do on the Facebook page is change the name and try to keep posted on it better.
Awesome.
You should take pictures of the stuff you're working on.
You got to be careful with that.
Oh.
Liability reasons for insurance on one. And
The lawyers are wreck everything.
Okay, well,
I
we
mean,
just
like,
want to we want to follow Trent around and see what he's crawling under, how dirty
what's
he's
Trent
getting.
crawled through today?
actually today, he's just about as dirty as normal and has not been under anything.
Amazing. Way to go, Trent. Does that mean you need to do your laundry?
I actually sent him the truck parts to get some parts because all the local suppliers, I bought everything they had, and some of them just don't carry it anymore. So,
Wow. Well, we're grateful for having you here in the community and that you're taking over a business. And, I love the ownership transfer right here in town. Is there anything else, Nathan, that you want to say to Marionville?
I just want to let them know anybody that's looking for work that's got an interest in turning wrenches. I'm always open to talking to somebody. And Jeremy Stevens is looking for help as well. If you'd rather work on smaller stuff.
Awesome. That's great. Well, thank you.
Nathan Gunn, thanks for being with us today.
Yep. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. And a very special thank you to the Bank of Billings and Todd Wright of Alpha Realty for showing their support for the good happening here in Marionville.
Consider joining them and become a sponsor for 2025. You can contact us at goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com.
Good news is easy to report. Just send an email to goodplacemarionville@hotmail.com.
Thank you for joining us for the Good Place Marionville podcast. Keep your eyes out for the good, and together we can celebrate Marionville.